Thank you. Today, I would like to share with you my views on violence against women. It's a small article which I am presenting in front of you. Right. Starting. The United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women, in its 2014 report entitled Challenges and Achievements in the Implementation of the Millennium Development Goals for Women and Girls, pointed out some great conclusions which were adopted by the Commission on the Status of Women at the conclusion of its 58th session, E-Wide 2014/27. The Commission strongly condemns all forms of violence against women and girls. It expresses deep concern that discrimination and violence against women and girls continue to occur in all parts of the world, and that all forms of violence against women and girls are impediments to the development of the full potential as equal partners with men and boys in all aspects of life, as well as obstacles to the development of the Millennium Development Goals. Some agreed conclusions of the Commission. The Commission welcomes international momentum to address the issue of child marriage and early and forced marriage. The Commission recognizes that child, early and forced marriage is a harmful practice and notes that its continued prevalence, among other factors, has showed achievement of several of the Millennium Development Goals for women and girls. The Commission further emphasizes that the empowerment of women is a critical factor in the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals, including the eradication of poverty and hunger, and that the implementation of special measures as appropriate aimed at empowering women can help accomplish this. It recognizes that inequality is a concern for all countries and that it represents an urgent challenge with multiple implications for the realization of the economic, social, and cultural rights of women and girls. It also emphasizes that women's poverty is directly related to the absence of economic opportunities and autonomy, lack of access to economic and productive resources, quality education and support services, and women's minimal participation in the decision-making process. The Commission recognizes that women's poverty and lack of empowerment, as well as their exclusion from social and economic policies, can place them at increased risk of violence, and that violence against women impedes social and economic development as well as the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals. Recent initiatives of the UN Women to End Violence. The UN Women has started a new campaign throughout the world from 25th November to 10th December in 2017, last year. The 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, a global campaign for ending violence against women, is taking place against the backdrop of an unprecedented global outcry. Millions of people, including both men and women, have rallied on the roads and advocated in various public and private forums for ending all kinds of violence against women. People have exposed the sheer magnitude of sexual harassment and other forms of violence that women experience every day and everywhere in the globe. Breaking the silence is the first step to transforming the culture of gender-based violence. Men still today beat women, pull hair, lack, kick on abdomen, slap, punch, and adopt various other tactics to commit violence against women and girls, including children. This is not only the situation prevailing in India or maybe South Asian or African countries. This is the phenomenon everywhere in the world. Even the American and European women are not escaped from violence from their male partners, male guardians, husbands. Right? Therefore, at the heart of this year's theme, previous year's theme, leave no one behind, end violence against women, for the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, 25th November, and UNI, capital T, capital E, Unite campaigns observance of the 16 days of activism to end violence against women is the imperative to support those who are particularly vulnerable. It is a hard reality that 1 in 3 women and girls experience violence in their lifetime. It happens in every country and every society, irrespective of the nature of the country's rulers and gender of rulers. It is sometimes we think that I also advocate women's participation, women's more and more women's participation in decision-making process, and the more it seems to me that the more women will come in the highest decision-making bodies, the less will be the violence, the level of violence in the world. But it seems to me that the level of violence has very little relation with the gender of the top decision makers of the countries. Even if a women dominated state, women are being violated, their human rights are being violated, they are being harassed, they are being raped, they are being tortured, they are being oppressed by their male counterparts. This is very shocking everywhere in the world. Why? Today we live in the 21st century, and in this 21st century, when science and technology has advanced too much, when we are maximum, when the education rate has been increased to a large extent, a majority of the people are educated, at least in black and white. So why this violence? Why this kind of discrimination? Why this kind of oppression? So this gives me enough pain and it hurts me. So it is a hard reality that 1 in 3 women and girls experience violence in their lifetime. This is the scenario in the world. So it happens in every country and every society, irrespective of the nature of the country's rulers and gender of rulers. It happens at home, it happens at schools, on streets, at work, on the internet, and in refugee camps even. It happens during war and even in the absence of war. Too often it is normalized and goes unpunished. School-going girls and dropout girls are not safe in their home. Being a headmaster, I have come to know that many girls have stopped their studies. Why? Because their parents, mainly their fathers, are not willing to send their daughters in school. Sometimes when a stepmother comes in the family, she doesn't allow, or she is mostly unwilling to send her stepdaughter to school. Rather, whenever she gives birth to a daughter or a child, the stepdaughter mainly becomes the keeper of the newborn baby. So this is horrible. This is horrible. And even it comes to me, it has come to my knowledge that many young girls, many school-going girls are not safe at their homes. They are not safe on road. They are not safe even during midnight or even during midday. if their mothers are not at home, they are not vulnerable. They are not safe. They are not safe. They even are scared of their elder brothers and sometimes of their stepfathers. So this is really very cruel, and this is very inhuman. So too often it is normalized and goes unpunished when mainly commit some nonsense, and they outrage the modesty of a woman, that in most of the cases the perpetrators often go out freely, and they are not punished. So this is the situation almost everywhere in the world in general, and particularly in India. So painfully, most of the crimes are perpetrated by their close family members and familiar persons. What are the impacts of violence? So see, no matter where violence against women happens, what form it takes, and whom it happens, it must be stopped. It must be stopped. I am not saying that violence is taking place with disadvantaged people, with the backward people, with the low income group women and girls, whatever, with whom it may be, whatever form it may take, and whom it impacts, it must be stopped. The promise of the Sustainable Development Goals to leave no one behind cannot be fulfilled without ending violence against women. Any violence is despicable and painful. It cripples women and girls forever, mentally or physically. The forced sex is the worst problem in a girl's life. She cannot join school, private tuition, a relative's house, social program, and any place in the society. She fails to show her face to the family members, including her brothers and father. If the sexual violence is committed, she cannot concentrate in her studies and often leaves school forever. If gets pregnant, either compels to get married or terminate her baby, thus ruins her physical beauty and mental beauty. She reduces to a mere object of enjoyment and consumption by the violence perpetrator or committer. In this way, she is reduced to a worthless person and bears the harmful consequences throughout her life. You just imagine the painful impact of violence against women. So in conclusion, I would like to say that ending violence against women and girls is possible. There are proven solutions for supporting and empowering survivors to stop the recurrence of this violence. Laws and policies are powerful tools to punish perpetrators, provide justice and services, and end impunity. There are many ways that we can resist and prevent violent norms, attitudes, and behaviors that perpetuate violence against women, and everyone has a role in it. While gender-based violence can happen to anyone, anywhere in the world, some women and girls are particularly vulnerable. For instance, young girls and older women who identify as lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or intersex, migrants and refugees, indigenous women and ethnic minorities, or women and girls living with HIVs and disabilities, and those in humanitarian crisis. It is suggested that girls and women should not surrender their life and body to anyone against their will. Learn the art of self-defense. Always I preach this message, that whenever women are powerful, whenever women know self-defense methods, whenever women know how to protect themselves, whenever women are physically empowered, then it becomes very difficult for the boys or for the perpetrators to commit any nuisance with that powerful woman. Males normally come closer to a woman or to a girl because the girl or woman is weak physically. Whenever a girl or a woman is physically strong, whenever the weight of her one punch is equal to 20 kg. So I give reference of Laila Ali, the daughter of Muhammad Ali. So if you were so powerful, if you were physically fit, if you were physically empowered, if you know the self-defense method, if you know judo karate, then you can help yourself. Not only you can help yourself, you can help your mother, you can help your sister, you can help your elder sister, you can help your aunt, you can help your neighborhood woman or other friends or other girlfriends. So there are multiple benefits of learning judo karate or self protecting methods. So, and that is a very good thing. Always I used to suggest to my students also. And here I would like to mention that whenever I was in Ghatal in the district of Paschim Medinipur, I wrote one book on that is a comparative study of women in the USA and India. So being inspired by my book, because in that book I suggested for women's empowerment, physical empowerment through judo karate, the then SDO Sri Angshuman Adhikari, he is a very good man. He is really I say that he is a philosopher, and he is a social thinker. He used to participate in many social activities. He is a great man. So he inaugurated released the book in a function at a hall. So after going through my book, he said that I would like to introduce here judo karate for girl students, and still there is a judo karate training school running in Ghatal Red Cross Society's office. So that is a very good thing. Every Sunday, one black belt teacher comes from a distant place and he teaches young girls. I heard that still the school or training school is going on. It is really it has revolutionized the lives of hundreds of girls. They will be free from violence both at home and on road, and I'm sure that those girls will be able to impart training, at least physical fitness, to their next generation, to their children also. So in this way, if more and more judo karate training centers or self-defense training schools are opened in clubs or in every locality, mainly for girl students or mainly for girls, young girls. So I think that level of violence will be reduced to a lot. And and next thing I would like to say that fight boldly against all kinds of injustice and violence. Whenever there is violence, whenever there is any injustice, whenever there is any misconduct committed by any man or committed by any person with you, so raise a voice immediately, raise an alarm, so that people will be alert. With your voice, people will be alert, and you might be safe. And then learn the law of the land regarding protection of girls and women. You should know the law prevailing in your state, in your country. It will help you to protect yourself, because and nowadays the government of India has introduced various apps and various protecting methods for women. So if you are computer literate, then you can use those apps for your safeguard. Whenever there is any problem, press the alarm button, so that your family members, your friends are informed, and so that they could take immediate action. And so these are the things I think. And also I've said that keeping big nails, that sometimes helps women to protect themselves, and using of chili powders also useful for yes, using chili powder is also very useful for protecting women. Mainly these are helpful mainly for working women, those who come late at home from their office. So and last of all, I would say there is no alternative of boldness of mind. Please be bold. Please earn enough strength mentally, physically, and then you see the miracle will happen one day. I hope that you will from next day you will follow these things, and you will be a physically empowered woman, and you take an oath that I will not bear, I will not tolerate any kind of violence with me, against me, or with anyone who are living around me. I hope that it will help you a lot, and you will follow this, and you will make a violence-free world in the days to come. Thank you.